So check this out. Last week, OpenAI released the generative pre-trained transformer, or the GPT chat, which is having the content world divided. It's really crazy. So on one side of the aisle, basically we see a lot of these content developers being freed from these tedious, time-consuming tasks, like researching, writing, developing like the framework or the scripts or the things, the tags, the SEOs, right? On the other hand, there's also the folks that see this as like a widespread opportunity for job loss, unemployment, things like the creative writing or the journalism aspect. So on today's episode of Cyber Studies, we're digging into, is it really possible for this piece of artificial intelligence to remove the human element from content development? All right, so after you've created your account, you can basically go through and you can give it prompts, and it's pretty conversational. It doesn't have to be very formal. You could just, I put some goofy words in there, some filler, just to kind of create some continuity to this. So I just gave it this idea of creating some YouTube ideas off the cuff. It's giving me 10 of these prompts, so some inspiration for videos I can create later on. Now, where this gets a little bit tricky is that the OpenAI platform is based off of one that was made from 2021. So now I'm asking for 10 more, and because this is a conversational computation piece, it's actually continuing off of the 10 prior. So it won't create anything that's similar, but rather 10 unique ideas going off of this. Now, where you can see this be a little bit more useful in the flow of content development is, say, for example, you want to create one of these ones here, like the top 5 of cybersecurity threats to go off of in 2021, previously mentioned off the data models. You can then take that and you can actually create a script, and which is super cool. It'll take this title and it'll create a YouTube talking script for your next video. So it goes through, again, it's a little bit more structurally, how do you say, like formal. And where this gets really powerful, as you can see, it goes through, it names the bullet points, it goes through and creates the summaries to each of those bullet points. But then you can actually take this information and then like convert it into like, I want you to repeat this back as Shakespearean, or I want you to create this from the narrative of a Klingon from Star Trek. It has enough of that computational awareness to piece it together and format it in a way that you would be able to use it, right? So as it goes through here, it's doing its piece, and I'm just going to show you right after it's done with this. You can actually take it and make it more like a conversational tone. So you can say, hey, instead of it being so bulleted, very formal, what have you, you can take this information and make it more conversational. Okay, and as I said, it's kind of going through here. You see right here in this general spot, it's taking the bulleted format that we had before, and it's making it more of like a casual, like a human speak thing. And it kind of, instead of using like the one format, it uses like first up, secondary, lastly, what have you. Now, where I think it's really cool is you see here it's finishing up. You can make this like a full-fledged content development piece. So now I have this conversational piece. You can like use this as framework to talk on. Then we can take this, make it an actual description for the YouTube video. And you can see where this gets really powerful, where it took, a lot of thinking and developing on and all these things like that. You literally say, hey, take this, now make it more conversational, now make a description. You'll see here in a second, I'm gonna make it to where it's more SEO or search engine optimization, more SEO compliant with things like the like developing the hashtags or the octothorpes to promote the video. You'll see right here with the actual content creators, you can plug this in on the back end. If you're using Instagram, you can put it towards the bottom of your posts, reels, what have you, right? So it'll spit out about 15 of them, plus or minus. And then as you saw before, you could actually go through and ask it for 15 more. And because it is that like hierarchy of conversation, it knows from the previous thing you said before to add on to it, and it's also unique. And then to just really test out its functionality and these features, I ask it to put together a really hard in the paint song about cybersecurity. You can see it right here. It's something else. But yeah, look at this. It's going through and doing like verses, choruses, and it's super goofy. But like the fact that it has this computational ability to put something together, it knows the verses and then the choruses and then like the bridge. Like I don't even know what a bridge is, but it's literally putting together the actual framework of a song. And if you were using this for song creation, I'm sure you could actually like fiddle with it more and do more like fine tune, like higher fidelity songs and the things like that. You could really like play with this technology. Another example of how this could be really useful for folks like in the cybersecurity field or just any sort of programming development is you can develop a standard form of programming scripts or full-on fledged applications. Now, while this isn't going to be the end-all be-all, and there's most likely going to be some sort of problem running said scripts and codes, this is going to give you a really good foundation to work off of. And you see right here, all I gave it was a very general description on how to create these passwords. Now, if you wanted to include things like what libraries, where you want to import things from, I've seen it to where you can actually point this at code you've made to perform these audits or debugging or what have you. Like you can see the power of this. Like what would take great amounts of time and resources is being done in such a quick amount of time. And it's ridiculous. And in this case, I say, hey, create, a password based off, like no parameters whatsoever. And then just for kicks and gigs, I ask it to create another one on the fly. And you'll see here, it does the same task, but utilizing different libraries. It's importing from different things. And I'm pretty sure the structure is relatively the same, but the idea is that it's on the fly creating these things. And I went through and I've checked a few of these through like just like plagiarism checkers and nothing. It's unique. And I'm not talking just about the programming or the coding, but we're talking about like if you ask it to do essays, dissertations, what have you, large like 800 word things, and there's no plagiarism in it. So as for your experience, it may vary, but when I've done it, I've ran it through the track for about a week and I've found 0 instances of plagiarism on this. And it's crazy that it's able to do that. And reckon code is code, but when it comes to like the writing of content, it's remarkable that it's able to do that. And then naturally I asked it to make a song about Python. So just a few different ways that we could use this tool. And that's kind of the whole point of this piece. It's not something that's gonna do it all on its own. Sure, it can create the ideas. Sure, it can create the scripts, the content, what have you. But this is a robot, right? It doesn't know necessarily what it needs to know unless it's been prompted to know so. The human aspect of things will stick around because humans know humans best. I don't think any amount of data models will truly be able to keep up and stay relevant for what the human psyche is. And if you do like this kind of content and the things you saw today, YouTube thinks you're gonna enjoy this video right here. So thank you very much for watching. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a good one.